You're listening to a New York Yankees episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, Yankees fans! Welcome to another New York Yankees episode of the Jacob Valk Show. I am the Jacob Valk, and you're not. It's amazing. It looked so good for the Yankees after Friday. They had shut out the Indians 8-0. They had won 5 out of their last 7. They were only a half game behind the Red Sox for the top wildcard spot. Yeah, the Blue Jays were only half a game behind them, but still it seemed like the Yankees were playing good baseball. They were kicking in a high gear at the right time. You felt confident about them. Then Saturday and Sunday hit, and before you knew it, the Yankees had been blown out in back-to-back games, 11-3 and 11-1. And the Red Sox and Blue Jays both put a little bit of distance between themselves and the Yankees. The Yankees right now are closer to the Athletics in the standings than they are to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are the second wildcard team. The Red Sox are 86-65. The Blue Jays are a game behind them. The Yankees are 1.5 games behind the Blue Jays, and the Athletics are half a game behind the Yankees. Don't look now, but the Athletics are actually storming back into this. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won their last 5 games. Chris Bassett is going to come back soon. The rumor is he'll be back on Thursday. This is it. It's put up or shut up time. If the Yankees are going to make the playoffs, it needs to happen now. This may sound a little obvious, but it's the truth. There have never been more important games for the Yankees than these final 2 weeks of the season. The 3 games against the Rangers at the stadium, the Yankees need to sweep. Realistically, you've got to take 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox at Fenway. And take 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays in Toronto. God only knows if the Rays will be going for it by the time the Yankees' last regular season series hits. So that could be a series that you say you gotta sweep, or it could be a series where you say just take 2 out of 3. But the time is now. No more losing series. This series against the Indians, the one that they just lost, that's gotta be it. Okay? That needs to be the last regular season series that you lose. It's now or never. It's put up or shut up time. This is what Brian Cashman reinforced this team for at the deadline by trading for the Italian Stallions, Joey Gallo, and Anthony Rizzo. If the Yankees don't win these next 4 series, it's over. The dream of playing postseason baseball will be dead. start looking for a new manager now, start looking for a new GM now. Any one of these series, if you lose one, forget about it. It's done. It's over. You're watching postseason baseball on your couch. You want to tell me, Jacob, it's unreasonable to expect this team to win their next 4 series after seeing how they played against the Indians and barely winning their series against the Orioles and barely winning that game against the Twins? Fine. Fair. Maybe it is unreasonable. Maybe this team just isn't that good. Did we ever think of that? Did we ever think that this team just isn't good? See, here's the thing. They have talent. The talent just isn't producing. Not for nothing, but for LeMahieu to just be hitting .272, to have just 34 extra base hits, when in the 60-game joke, he had 22, and coming off the heels of getting a huge contract, you've got to be better. Gio Urshela hitting just .261, you've got to be better. Gleyber Torres hitting just .253. Being so bad at shortstop that the Yankees moved you to second. Urshela's now playing short, and LeMahieu's now playing third. That's not going to work for me. Not for nothing, but he's been playing short for the Yankees for the past 3 seasons, counting this one. He really should have gotten a hold of it. He doesn't need to be Ozzie Smith, but he's got to be good. There's going to come a point in time where we sit down as Yankees fans and go through the roster player by player to determine who deserves to be here and who doesn't. Let me tell you, the Yankees off-season preview last year, I didn't see them making any blockbuster moves. I think the biggest thing that I said they should do was trade for Marco Gonzalez. Let me tell you, Gonzalez would be nice. Granted, he's still with the Mariners. We'll never know whether he could have been traded for or not, but I think it was a reasonable suggestion. The thing is, though, all due respect to Gonzalez, he's really a third starter in a perfect world. I don't consider that flashy. This off-season preview coming up, odds are I'm going to propose some flashy trades. Getting rid of some big guys, blowing things up. Retooling this roster to make it a legitimate World Series contender. See, that's the thing. That's what everyone's missing. You're talking about getting into that second wild card spot and getting into the playoffs. What are you going to do when you're there? Okay, fine. I'll grant you that the Yankees can beat the Red Sox or Blue Jays or Athletics, whoever, in a one-game playoff. Not a guarantee, but I'll run with you on it. They're getting creamed in the ALDS. The Rays might sweep them. So once you're eliminated by the Rays, in however many games, it's time to take a look in the mirror. Is this acceptable to you? If the answer is no, you've got to advocate for major changes. Whether it's firing the GM, firing the manager, massively overhauling the roster, or a combination of the three, an ALDS exit isn't enough for me. That will have happened in 3 of the last 4 years. That's simply not good enough. Maybe that's acceptable for other teams, but not the most successful team in sports history. Not for a team that's going through its longest championship drought since 1978 to 1996. I just keep going back to what I was saying in early July. I don't want Cashman to trade for reinforcements. This team isn't going to do anything. It's not worth mortgaging the future for guys who aren't going to help you make a crazy playoff run. Cashman chooses not to listen to me. He trades for Gallo. He trades for Rizzo. And it's like, okay, I see what you're going for here. I can understand why you do this. You didn't give up an arm and a leg for these guys. So yeah, okay. Maybe we can make some noise. Then the Field of Dreams game happens. Fire Boone. You go on a 13-game winning streak. You look like you can beat any team in baseball. It's kind of interesting. Since that 13th win, on August 27th, the Yankees are 7-14. They've gone from being second in the AL East to fourth, to having a great chance of making the playoffs, to now being on the outside looking in. According to Baseball Reference, the Yankees have just a 16.3% chance of making the playoffs. They have suffered a 50% drop in their postseason odds, according to Baseball Reference, since 30 days ago. It doesn't get much worse than that. It's amazing. I was praising the Yankees during the winning streak. Everyone was. The regression that they've had since that winning streak is simply incredible. I mean, people were saying that this team was peaking too soon. Those people may have been right. I mean, I disagreed with them at the time. What's the alternative? Not go on that winning streak? That winning streak got them into the playoff picture. But maybe they should have saved it. Look, this team has been up and down all year. We've all seen the graphic that the Yes Network shows. For one stretch of games, they're terrible. The next stretch, they're great. The next stretch, they're terrible. The next stretch, they're great. And it was the same thing last year, too. Here's what's funny about looking at this year through last year. Last year, the Yankees went 33-27. If we extrapolate that to a 162-game season, you know how many wins they'd have? 89. You know how many wins the Yankees have right now with 2 weeks to go in the season? 83. 89 doesn't look like a terrible guess. Even if they finish with over 90 wins. Is that a successful season? Does that show significant progress? What if they lose in the ALDS again? What if they lose in the wild card game? What if they don't make the playoffs? The reality is this Yankees team isn't much better than last year's Yankees team. Maybe it was never worth reinforcing this team. Maybe I was right in early July. I mean, what's worse? Packing it in? Or going for it and coming up short? I think the latter. The former, the worst thing that happens is you end up with some prospects that you like. The latter, the worst thing is you have these players that didn't contribute to a winning season, one of which, Anthony Rizzo, is a free agent, and Joey Gallo, I know he's been swinging the bat a lot better, but the simple fact is, he's still hitting just 166 with the Yankees. He has a .310 on base percentage as a bomber. So you have this guy in Gallo, who is only hitting 166, and you have a pending free agent in Rizzo, and you're minus a bunch of solid prospects. Not blue chip prospects, but still solid prospects. Like I said, I feel like I was right in early July. I'll even go a step further. Was it worth it to go all in if you were just gonna be eliminated in the wild card game or the ALDS? I don't think so. Because realize, that's where the Yankees are now. They went all in, and now it seems like they're going to be eliminated in the wild card game or the ALDS, assuming they even get there in the first place. If that happens, it doesn't equate to a successful season to me. There's no question about it. The Yankees need to win all 4 of these upcoming series. The Rangers, it should be a cakewalk. They should sweep them. The Red Sox and Blue Jays are going to be tough. The Yankees are on the road. But these are teams they have to overtake anyway. These are golden opportunities to gain ground. You've got to seize that opportunity. If you don't, forget about it. And the Rays, God only knows if they're going to be playing for anything or not. So that could be a sweep. It's the last home series of the season. So take 2 out of 3 as a bare minimum. Realistically, the Yankees need to win 9 of their next 12 games. Maybe that's an unreasonable ask. But this is the hole that they dug for themselves. Now we'll see, once and for all, if they can dig themselves out of it. By next week, we'll know whether or not this team will be in the playoffs or not. And you will get a Yankees show next week. Hopefully, I'm happier then than I am now. Regular episodes of the Jacob Valk Show come your way every weekday afternoon. 2 weeks from now will be my last regular Yankees show. I'll put a bow on the season. Obviously, I'll do an off-season preview. I have no idea when. I'll say this. Assuming they're eliminated from playoff contention in the wild card game or earlier, it could be Friday. Because I'll probably need that much time to think about what this team needs to do. If the Yankees go on to the ALDS, obviously that'll change, but if the Yankees are eliminated from playoff contention in the wild card game or in the regular season, my best guess would be that you're going to get a Yankees off-season preview on October 8th. I will let you know definitively as the 8th gets closer. Until next time, I'm Jacob Valk, and always remember, if you disagree with me, you're wrong.